Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and dear friends, I would first like to extend a warm welcome on behalf of all of my colleagues from IIASA and Pavel Kabat, Director General of IIASA, to all of you for this very, very important fourth Vienna Energy Forum. All of us at IIASA are exceedingly proud to be part of this process and that we had the opportunity to co-organize. And I think that given the challenges that you've heard from the previous speakers, also that the title of today's forum, the Sustainable Energy for Inclusive Development, is exceedingly appropriate. After the motivational talks you've heard from the others, there's actually relatively little for me to add, but let me just amplify some of the messages that you have heard. First of all, I think that there is no doubt that the previous three fora provided a major platform for discussion of key energy messages. And I think they have also sown the seeds for much of what has been already adopted internationally. But there is still enormous work to be still done. Let me give you two examples of the achievements that were also mentioned before. In the first forum in 2009, I think that the objectives of the Sustainable Energy for All were set. These are exceedingly important in the discussions over the past few years and the action that has occurred. And in the following two fora, the urgency for action was even further amplified. I think that all of that was together very instrumental in catalyzing the recognition that the way forward cannot be done without energy, that energy is indispensable for human development. And I think that all of that together has then induced the Sustainable Development Goal number 7 on energy that I hope will be adopted in New York in September. The second example I would like to give you is that also in 2009, the Vice Chancellor of Austria, in his remarks to the first Vienna Energy Forum, expressed the wish that one day Vienna might become Davos of energy. I think that has succeeded, and I think the previous speakers have pointed that out. We have 2,500 participants here. This is really a Davos of energy, and on top of it, we have more than 10 international organizations in Vienna that work in the energy areas. So Vienna Energy Forum has become a very important platform and institution, and I think institution needs to be amplified, that this is a fourth event, this is very important. And I also look forward to the continuing events in the future to advance the big challenges we have ahead of us. These are some of the reasons why we are proud to be associated with the Vienna Energy Forum and to be the co-organizers. But allow me just to say one or two words about IIASA. IIASA is a very unique organization. It is international, but it is independent. It is a research institute that addresses some of the key global challenges and provides the policy-relevant advice. My colleagues work on issues of energy and climate, food and water, equity and inequality in the world. And we try to understand those developments in the context of other grand transformations in the world: urbanization, demographic change, technological change. As what was mentioned by Lisa, IIASA co-organized the Global Energy Assessment that included 500 experts from around the world, and I know that many are present here, and I would like to thank them for their contribution. But I think it is fair to say that some of the scientific foundations behind the Vienna Energy Forum and behind the Sustainable Energy for All can be traced back to the findings of the Global Energy Assessment. The three targets were analyzed in detail: the need to have access to sustainable energy by all within the next 2 decades, because 3 billion people around the world are excluded from the benefits of industrialization that has at the same time caused many of the environmental and other problems that we have. Efficiency is very important. The goal is to double the rate of energy efficiency improvements. So yes, this is about kilowatts, but it's also about megawatts. I think we have to achieve both. Efficiency is really, really important, and I'm happy to see that that is one of the topics of this forum. And that the third goal is to double the share of clean and sustainable energy sources in the world system, again, indispensable for the development. Let me just give you two numbers. The Global Energy Assessment estimated that the current investment in energy worldwide is about 1.3 trillion, and that we would need to double that to about 2.6 annually, 2.6 trillion to achieve these goals. Now, this sounds like a lot, but I would argue it is not. We live in an economy of 100 trillion worldwide, and energy is the key for the further development and for the people that have not been connected. So I think that energy and these investments, and they really require the revolution, as Kande Jumkela said, but they will have incredible benefits in addition to economic growth for reducing environmental impacts of energy, and also help stabilize the greenhouse gas emissions and enable us to reduce them down to zero, and that's going to be a very important part of the discussions and commitments in Paris. Let me just mention two activities before I conclude of IIASA that are relevant for this forum. The first one is a new Nexus initiative together with GF and UNIDO. We would like to take an integrative and holistic view of food, energy, and water. The second one is called The World in 2050. 25 organizations around the world have joined forces to support the implementation of SDGs after the summit in New York and develop the pathways toward a sustainable future within the planetary boundaries. So you have heard before, this forum is taking place in a very special year. We have the 3 international summits, first the financing in Addis next month, then in New York, SDGs in September, and in Paris, climate negotiations in December. So I would say that this forum and the program that has been very carefully crafted by the organizers will give all of us huge opportunities to contribute to these major global debates. So I would conclude that the timing is perfect of this forum, that I hope that over the next 2.5 days we will give some bold recommendations for the way forward, and I wish us all very productive and interesting 3 days discussions, and would like to thank the organizers for getting us all together. Thank you very much.